presentation. Super Bowl 52 is underway, and we are in for one heck of a matchup as the Julio Jones-led Atlanta Falcons will take on the Anquan Boldin's Baltimore Ravens. Here come the Atlanta Falcons onto the field. And this team is a team of destiny. They're a team of purpose. They have fought and fought all year long. And they are here to take on the Baltimore Ravens. A solid team led by the best defense in the NFL. Probably the best defense ever. And Dan Quinn, a defensive-minded coach himself, looks to lead his team to victory against John Harbaugh. Two defensive coaches here today, both teams with good defenses though. But the Falcons have an outstanding offense, while the Ravens, they have a pretty good offense, and they have an outstanding defense. And the Falcons, they have the Falcons' defense is good as well. But again, it's like a swap. It's like a flip-flop with these teams. Both teams, well-balanced teams, well-rounded teams. And let's see who's going to win this coin toss. So, I'm not sure who won off of this animation because that's the animation they show every single time. It appears that Michael Vick and the Falcons won as Deion Sanders shakes Anquan Boldin's hand. But let's see. More than likely, though. Okay, there goes the kicker. So the Falcons are going to be kicking the ball off to Jarvis Landry. And Jarvis Landry ready to run this kick back and get the Ravens started. The Ravens offense really want to hold their own because they are up against a challenge. This Falcons defense is a solid unit, and they are a difficult secondary to pass against. And Joe Flacco is going to try to do so today. He does not have the firepower at his disposal that Michael Vick does. But he does have a solid running game. And Anquan Boldin is a stout receiver. As in Jarvis Landry too. Wow. Showing his moves, Jarvis Landry, the kick returner, certainly is a threat after the catch. With the ball in his hands at all times. Joe Flacco. He looks hopefully he could be solid. He's been good throughout the playoffs. He's been on a good run. He looks to continue that run. As they line up in the heavy single back formation, Joe Flacco, hard count, calling an audible, and Joe Flacco hands the ball off to Martin. Here goes the Ravens offense. They have a big, strong offensive line. And Doug Martin is a very, very tenacious running back. He gives defenses headaches. Joe Flacco, and he's going to give it to Doug Martin. Doug Martin lowering his shoulder, fighting forward. Good game by Doug Martin. Ravens defense, on every level, this is a fast defense. From the secondary to the linebackers to the defensive line, this is a fast unit. And of course, they have the fastest of them all, Deion Sanders, playing against the team's #1 receiver week in, week out. It's 3rd and 2. And Doug Martin with the fumble. And he's able to fall on it. And that's the thing with this Falcons team. They want to make sure that they play solid on offense. Their defense is so good. They don't want to sabotage anything. They want to play solid football and not shoot themselves in the foot. If they have to settle for the punt, so be it. They want to keep their defense in good position because their defense certainly makes plays. And they're going to punt the ball now to Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders waiting for the ball, and he's going to let it bounce. Into the end zone goes the ball. Out comes Michael Vick. Michael Vick dropping back, and Michael Vick is going to take off. Oh, he's going to slide down. Michael Vick getting down. All right, here go the Falcons, bringing their offense back out on the field. Barry Sanders is the most explosive running back in the NFL. The most electric, at least. He has moves on top of moves, and he has his work cut out for him against this Ravens unit. Michael Vick rolling out, and Michael Vick going to reverse pivot. Wow, nice play by Michael Vick. As you see Ray Lewis there, along with his teammates, able to cut off that Michael Vick scramble. 3rd and 2. Michael Vick pump faking. Michael Vick going to take off again, and Michael Vick going to stumble forward, and Ed Reed trying to strip the ball, but Michael Vick is able to hold on to it. And Michael Vick has a first down. That time they did the screen option, like a fake screen, but you know, Michael Vick, the quarterback can always go back to that screen route if he needs to. And nothing was open. They covered the screen, they covered the routes down the field. Michael Vick decides to take off with the ball. Here we go, 1st and 10 from the 36. Michael Vick fakes it to Barry Sanders, and he's going to throw it to Barry, and Barry Sanders is going to cut up field for a minimal gain, not able to keep himself in bounds. Here goes the Ravens defense. Haloti Ngata, the Hawaiian, the flying Hawaiian, and he's a part of a solid defensive front. They stuffed the run, and they are backed by a unit that is second to none. Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Ed Reed, Ladarius Webb. This unit is the best there is in the business. Michael Vick getting rid of the ball, and they're going to tackle down Delaney Walker. And he has enough for the first down, though. That was close. But 7 yards is good enough for the first down. Tony Jefferson in coverage makes the short tackle, but not sure enough. Man, this Ravens team tackles so well. They'll let you catch the ball, but they're gonna make you pay. But that time, the Falcons able to get just enough for the first down. Here goes Michael Vick, and he's faking the handoff. He's gonna keep it. Michael Vick juking, and no, Michael Vick denied. Nice 5-yard gain, but of course, when you run your quarterback, you want a little bit more than 5 yards. 2nd and 5. Michael Vick faking to Barry Sanders. Michael Vick throwing down the field to Perriman. Rashad Perriman coming over to Atlanta from the Ravens. The Ravens, of course, getting Anquan Boldin and Jarvis Landry and Torrey Smith returning to Baltimore. They felt like they didn't need Rashad Perriman anymore. Rashad Perriman gladly picked up by the Falcons. His speed is utilized very well in this Falcons offense. They love to run a fast, moving, vertical offense, and of course they do their crossing patterns as well, which feeds right into their scheme. Michael Vick calling an audible, and the audible's to a screenplay, and that screenplay is broken up by Haloti Ngata. Off of Haloti Ngata's helmet as he was belling back to the screenplay. Haloti Ngata ends up breaking up that screenplay. Second down. Ladarius Webb and Julio Jones matched up at the bottom of your screen. And they're going to give it to Barry. And Barry Sanders, wow. Okay, Barry. Barry Sanders is going to get swallowed up there for a 3-yard gain. Looked like he had a little space there for a second, but the vacancy closed quick. Michael Vick now, 3rd and 7. Michael Vick looking. Michael Vick throwing the ball down the seam, and he hits Delaney Walker. Ed Reed making the tackle, but Delaney Walker holds onto the ball. First down, and the Falcons are at the 13. Michael Vick out of the single back formation. Quick drop. Michael Vick throwing to Delaney Walker. Delaney Walker fighting. Great play. Michael Vick seems to have found some type of chemistry with Delaney Walker here on this first drive. And they're going to line up in a shotgun heavy formation. And they're going to run the ball with Vick. And Vick on the outside. Vick will walk into the end zone. Great play design. And the Atlanta Falcons will score first in this Super Bowl. Wow. Great start to this game. Impressive. The Falcons doing what no one thought they would be able to do, marching right down the field and scoring on this Baltimore Ravens defense. Looking phenomenal throwing the ball and moving the ball up and down the field. Phenomenal display of excellence by the Atlanta Falcons. And in goes the field goal. And here comes the Ravens. Danny Woodhead. And he's going to be tackled at the 25. This Ravens defense now, they definitely want to do something here. Let's see what they got. Surprisingly enough, the Ravens surrendered a touchdown on their first possession. We all have to wonder, is that what this game is going to look like? Have the Falcons found something against this Ravens defense? And here goes the stretch play. Doug Martin, and Doug Martin fumbles. Oh my God, disaster strikes. Doug Martin fumbles the ball. Keanu Neal stripping the ball, taking the ball away from Doug Martin, and that is disastrous. The Falcons are dominating. Michael Vick comes back out into the field. Michael Vick looking to score here. And Michael Vick, and the give to Barry Sanders is stuffed. That time the Ravens asserting their authority, saying no to the Falcons. No. No, this is our house. The Ravens have their backs against the walls. They need to be aggressive here. And here goes the keeper to Vick. And there goes Ray Lewis to sabotage the play. Ray Lewis is not having any of it. Not on Ray Lewis's street. Not on his block. And that's actually Ray Lewis's first tackle. As we watch Ray Lewis in the middle of the defense now, lined up. And Ray Lewis, you see him surveying the field. And, Michael Vick throws it over Ray Lewis's head to Delaney Walker again. Delaney Walker, it's almost unfair. Delaney Walker is such a beast. Delaney Walker is abusing the middle of this Ravens defense. And Ed Reed, man, he just isn't the type of guy that's going to knock that ball out of Delaney Walker's possession. Delaney Walker is just too big, too massive. Ed Reed just doesn't have the force to knock that ball out of Delaney Walker. Michael Vick from the 9-yard line, scrambling. Michael Vick spinning, and Michael Vick is going to get tackled at the 7. Tyus Bowser on the tackle. Here we go. Michael Vick from the 7-yard line, looking to score. Vick dropping back, surveying the field. He's rolling out to his left. He has Julio Jones in front of him. He's going to give it to Jones. Julio Jones could not keep his feet in bounds, and that's going to be a 3rd down. Michael Vick out of the empty formation. Hoping to score here. Vick surveying the field. Vick, quick release to Taylor Gabriel. Only a 2-yard gain, though. And they're going to have to kick a field goal here, folks. That is big, big, big for the Ravens right now. They were able to come up with a stop in spite of the consistency of Delaney Walker. They were able to stop the Falcons there. They certainly got to do something about Delaney Walker, though. Delaney Walker is having his way against this defense. The field goal is good. All right, so there you have it. It is a 10-0 game, and the Falcons are very fortunate to be in this position. They couldn't ask for a better start. A great start for the Atlanta Falcons. Laron Landry taking the ball out. And Laron Landry sets the tackle. And he's going to be tackled at the 25. As we look, Doug Martin, 2 fumbles already. That is just not good. He has been reliable all year long. He has been their guy. So if he's struggling like this, man, these guys, it's not looking good for these guys. They really need him to be reliable. They need him to be productive. Joe Flacco dropping back. Joe Flacco stepping up. Joe Flacco delivering the strike to Miller. Joe Flacco's first attempt. Would you believe that? Joe Flacco's first attempt and completing it to Zach Miller. Cutting across the field. Zach Miller with the catch. Great play. And here come the Ravens again. Joe Flacco dropping back, surveying the field, escaping trouble, and he gets sacked. Not able to escape the fast Duke Riley as he chases down Joe Flacco for a 2-yard loss. And they are at 2nd and 12 from the 45-yard line. That time they send the blitz. They run man coverage. And they just don't have the guys to get free down the field. It looks like their tight end got free later on. Jarvis Landry, man, picking up Jarvis Landry, I don't know if that helped them or not. I really felt like they had a better lineup. But Torrey Smith in the slot, he's just not going to be as effective as he would be running outside. The acquisition of Jarvis Landry kicks Torrey Smith into the slot, and that certainly is not what I at least intended for this team. But I, of course, forgot that Jarvis Landry was in free agency and not think of someone picking him up. So, as we look at 3rd and 12, Joe Flacco is looking to convert. Joe Flacco, play fake. He's got to get rid of this ball. He's going to let it go down the field. He has his man, and it's intercepted. Oh, disastrous. Disastrous play. And this, oh, man. You see, that's supposed to be Torrey Smith there. They changed the lineup. Torrey Smith is much better in that situation, going down the field and attacking the ball. But there they have Jarvis Smith, and that is simply not Jarvis Smith. Jarvis Landry. That's not his game. That is not Jarvis Landry's game. Jarvis Landry is an intermediate type of receiver. Desmond Trufant shows you why. He attacks the ball, and Jarvis Landry did not stand a chance going up for that ball against Desmond Trufant. Here they go. Here come the Atlanta Falcons. And this looks like a run play, and yes it is. And they're going to give it to Barry. Barry with space. Barry spinning. Barry with the biggest run of his day so far. Barry Sanders, what a play. 3rd and 17. I apologize, 3 for 17. My mistake, guys, my mistake. 3 carries for 17 yards. Barry Sanders exploding. That carry certainly changed his yards per carry. Well-designed play. They were able to create a crease, and Barry Sanders eluding 2 tacklers as Terrell Suggs comes and he takes him down, saving a huge play. The Atlanta Falcons, 115 total yards already in the first quarter. Who would have thought that they would have got to this type of start against the Ravens defense? And they're going to give it to Barry again, and Barry's going to be stuffed for a no gain at the 34, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, and they're going to fake it to Barry. Vick surveying the field. Vick getting the ball to Reese. Reese crossing the field, and they're trying to strip it. Oh, man, Terrell Suggs, that's a mismatch. Terrell Suggs trying to keep up with Marcel Reese, and he was not able to do so. What a game so far, guys. What a game. The Falcons start the quarter at the 34, attacking the Ravens. And they're going to give it to Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders with space, and he's not going to be able to create anything from there. Jimmy Smith plays no games. He comes up and he takes Barry Sanders down. 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12 from the 36. Barry Sanders hard count. He fakes it to Michael Vick actually, and he gets it to Marcel Reese. Marcel Reese able to snatch that ball out the air. Wow. Marcel Reese just barely coming down with that ball. He had to extend to grab it, and he's able to come down with that ball. The high bird fullback / tight end. Marcel Reese making plays. First and 10 from the 16. Michael Vick dropping back, and he's going to dash up the middle of the field. Michael Vick spinning. Michael Vick gets it down to the 1-yard line. Michael Vick. And they are taking advantage of this Ravens defense now. This Ravens defense, they're devastated. They're devastated. They don't know what to do. They were not expecting this kind of start. Their offense has been compromised, and the Ravens defense is not looking good. They are showing weakness, and they are showing vulnerability, and the Falcons are smelling blood. Then goal from the 1. Vick sending Hooper in motion. They like to run in this situation, and they will. And Barry Sanders, he's going to fall forward for the touchdown. Wow. Barry Sanders is going to fall forward. They only needed a yard. Barry Sanders just barely gets in there. He gets clobbered into the end zone. Ray Lewis trying to wrap him up and not able to bring him down in the backfield. And Barry Sanders rumbles and tumbles into the end zone for the 1-yard gain. And the extra point is good. 17-0 Falcons. This is not looking good for the Falcons. Very impressive display of strategy and execution by the Atlanta Falcons. Extremely impressive. They have been able to execute, and they have been able to move the ball on this team. Here goes the kickoff. Jarvis Landry taking the ball. Stiff arming, and Jarvis Landry down at the 26. Joe Flacco with one completion. A completion of 21 yards, nevertheless. But he also has an interception. And he's going to drop back here. He's going to get the ball quickly to Jarvis Landry, and Jarvis Landry not able to hold on. Jeez, Jarvis Landry, I mean, he's a mystery. He's above 90 but he just doesn't deliver. Jarvis Landry dropping the ball. He's a mystery to me. Dropping the ball right there. He really needs to hold on to the ball there. Joe Flacco now from the shotgun. Hard count, and he's going to give it to his running back. And they stuff him like they've been. It's been reversed. It's been like a role reversal, guys. This Ravens O-line has been out-muscled, outmaneuvered by this Falcons defensive front. Where the Falcons, they've been able to get some rushing yards, but the Ravens certainly have been stuffed. And look at Duke Riley. On third down, they try to run a draw, and Duke Riley sniffs it out immediately, stopping them for no gain, and they're going to have to punt the ball to Deion Sanders, and who wants to do that? And Deion Sanders is going to be back here with no blockers. Is he going to get to return it? Yes, he will. And he's going to spin. And he's going to juke. Deion Sanders with space. Oh, man, he almost spent out of that one. Deion Sanders creating out of nothing, getting the ball up to the 33. And that is what happens, man. That's what happens when you punt the ball to that guy. Deion Sanders, he makes plays. Barry Sanders, 6 carries for 16 yards. Not an explosive game, but as a team, as a unit, they have schemed and they have outplayed and they have outwitted the Ravens here. They have been very, very crafty. Barry Sanders getting space. Barry Sanders excelling up the field, and Barry Sanders is going to be rolled out of bounds for a beautiful game. What a play by Barry Sanders. Wow, what a run by Barry Sanders. That looked like a 20-yard run. And they look to give it to Barry Sanders again. Barry Sanders, and that play, they've run that a couple of times, and that play just doesn't work. That play the Ravens, at least it doesn't work against the Ravens. That play is certainly not helping them as Ed Reed gets his 5th tackle. Ed Reed is not afraid to fly up and make a play in the backfield, as we see. And here they go, and they're going to give it to Barry Sanders again. And he's going to be stuffed. 3rd and 14. Michael Vick, and Michael Vick is going to slide down. He's going to get the ball to the 36, and they're probably going to try a field goal here. Let's see what they do. He's able to get just enough, and he makes the field. A 20-point lead. What a kick. The Falcons are taking it. They're taking advantage of their opportunities here, and it has been good for the Falcons. Doug Martin taking the handoff. Doug Martin with space. Doug Martin dashing the Falcons for a huge gain. And they're going to catch Doug Martin, but not until he gets to the 35. Big play. Just what the doctor ordered. And the Baltimore Ravens finally deep in Falcons territory looking to score. And they're going to toss it to Doug Martin. He's going to cut up, and he's going to run right into trouble. And they're going to stop him. as Doug Martin is limited. He's gained his 54th yard, though, on the day. Out of 8 carries, Doug Martin has been impressive. In spite of his 2 fumbles, Doug Martin, he's looking to change the course of the game. He wants to redeem himself. And Flacco releasing the ball, getting the ball to his tight end, Zach Miller. Nice play. 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4 yards to go. Man, Joe Flacco really thrives in throwing the ball down the field, but he just doesn't have anyone to throw the ball down the field. That normally was Torrey Smith. That was his guy. And he's in the slot now. So let's see what Joe Flacco does. Oh, they run slant patterns. Intermediate passing game, and that's where Jarvis Landry can help you. Jarvis Landry is good with that. He's good for catching the ball and then running with the ball in his hands. So if they're going to do some plays like that here, certainly is going to help him. Boom. Solid hit. Deion Jones. What a hit. What a play by Jarvis Landry. Holding on to that ball, though. Redeeming himself here. This is the drive of redemption for the Ravens. As he gets the ball to Martin. Martin with no one in front of him, and he is going to walk into the end zone. Just as I say it, a redeeming drive. The Ravens resurrecting their spirits, coming back to life here. Great play. Great play design. Flacco gets it out to Martin immediately. Wastes no time, and Martin catches the ball right on the shoulder. Flacco put the ball right on his shoulder there. He almost like insisted that Martin caught that ball, stuck it right on him. And Martin just walks in for the touchdown. And the extra point attempt is good. 5-play, 82-yard drive. Lasted 2 minutes and 43 seconds. And the Ravens with new breath. Whoa! Big hit. That was a hit. Big hit. Huge hit by the Baltimore Ravens. Wow. Julio Jones. He's not been active today. He hasn't been too active. And they have the lead in spite of. So that's scary. If they're able to get Julio Jones going, it's going to be scary. But, of course, that's not going to be an easy task as he's being followed around by Ladarius Webb. And here goes Reggie Bush with the carry. Reggie Bush trying to create some space between him and the defenders, but it's not enough, and he gets stopped for a 4-yard loss. Tony Jefferson flying up and making that tackle. And that's not the first time we've seen Tony Jefferson do that. Michael Vick dropping back. Michael Vick with the short pass over the middle to who other than Delanie Walker. Delanie Walker is owning the seams today, people. He owns the seams. Those are his. He owns the seam, and Ed Reed keeps having to come up and clean up his mess. That time, Delanie Walker with the catch. Ed Reed with the tackle. First down Falcons. The beat goes on. Barry Sanders stopped for a 1-yard loss, 2nd and 11. Michael Vick now out of the spread formation, shotgun, dropping back to pass. And he's going to hit Rashad Perriman. He's been quiet for a bit. Rashad Perriman coming over from the Ravens. That's his 2nd reception. He certainly is dangerous. He can certainly make plays down the field. 3rd and 6. Michael Vick is going to take off. And Michael Vick is going to get the first down, and he's going to slide down at the 49. Great play by Michael Vick. That was a quick read, and Michael Vick just took off and ran. Saw nothing, but at the same time he saw everything, and he took it with his legs. Michael Vick now giving to Barry Sanders, fumbling the ball, and it is scooped up by Vick. Vick spins. Whoa, what a play. That went from worse to better to a stalemate, to nothing really, just a yard gained. Wow. And Barry Sanders is spinning up the field. Barry Sanders shutting a tackle. Barry Sanders up the sideline, and he is going to score. Barry Sanders with a phenomenal, improbable play. Improbable, I mean. Barry Sanders, what a touchdown. What a phenomenal effort. We are going to have to get an exclusive look at that play. Barry Sanders, he made a phenomenal, he spit, and then he shed the defender, and then he cut upfield. He had to gather himself there, and he exploded up the field for the 50-yard touchdown. Barry Sanders, look at Barry Sanders, look at that move. Excuse me, look at that move. And Terrell Suggs not able to bring him down. Let's get the inside look on this. So they were running the cover one robber out of the, what formation is that? Out of the nickel bear formation, it looks like 3 down linemen and 2 outside linebackers, as we see. Actually, let's just, hey, what am I doing? Let's just go to the replay, guys. All right, so we see what they're in. They got the 3 down linemen, and they love to run this formation. Ray Lewis gets to sit back here, and he gets to see everything that is occurring. Ray Lewis, however, on this particular play, was not able to make a play. And they are going to run the read option out of this play. And Barry Sanders is going to bounce this play out. This play normally is run inside, but Ray Lewis is able to clog that up, and Barry Sanders doesn't even try his luck. As you see, this play normally cuts up inside. Barry Sanders bounces it outside, and Ray Lewis is going to get caught in traffic, runs into his own man. Ouch! And he's not even going to be able to get there. His own man nullifying that play. Oh, that hurts. That is purple on purple crime. Now let's focus on Barry Sanders as he decides, he opts to cut this play out. He opts out of the Marcel Reese lead block. No offense, Reese, but I don't think you're going to be able to block man Ray Lewis. I'm going to bounce it out, and I'm going to allow Ray Lewis to run into his own mess. And Jarvis Landry with the double block. Did you see Jarvis Landry coming off of one man, getting to the other man? Wow, what a play. Terrell Suggs can't make the tackle, and Barry Sanders with enough speed to take it all the way up the sideline. As the Ravens score, they are looking to increase their lead and keep the momentum in their hands. Extra point is good. 27-7. A 7-play, 79-yard drive, burning 4 minutes off of the clock. 4-minute drill. The Falcons possessing the ball and scoring the ball. The Falcons doing everything they want to do. And the Ravens need to stop the bleeding here. Can Joe Flacco put together a 2-minute drill and score the ball here for the Ravens? As we look at Doug Martin, he steps back out onto the field. Doug Martin has been able to redeem himself as of late. He was a factor in the passing game on that last drive. Hopefully, for the Ravens' sake, he can be a factor here on this drive. As Flacco fakes it to Martin, and Flacco is going to be taken down by the blitzing Brian Poole. What a play. They brought the safety on that play. And Flacco not able to find anyone open in spite of this secondary of the Falcons, man. We haven't called their name much except for that interception by Desmond Trufant. And you know it's good when you're not calling the secondary's name much. That means they're doing their job. They have shut these receivers down. As we go into this 2-minute warning, the Ravens looking to put together a 2-minute drill. They really need to score here. As they come out to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 20. Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco takes the ball from the shotgun. Joe Flacco gets rid of the ball, and he finds Landry. That was a nice play right there. Good play to gain back some of the yards that they lost on 1st and 2nd down. And here goes 3rd and 12. And they're going to hand the ball to, they're going to play it safe. The Falcons are going to stop the clock. So the Ravens playing it safe, and they're actually going to put the ball back in their defense's hands, back in their Falcons' hands rather, and they're going to put this game back in their defense's hands, trusting their defense, hoping their defense could redeem themselves from that last drive as they uncharacteristically let the Falcons march up the field and score. Here goes the punt. Back deep, Deion Sanders, also known as Prime Time. He's going to hope to be able to make a play here. No, he's going to have to wave this one away. Smartly done, as the Ravens were closing in on them fast. And there goes Michael Vick and Barry Sanders coming onto the field. They've got to feel good about what they've been able to do up to this point. And the Atlanta Falcons lining up in the empty formation. Michael Vick's favorite. He can do so much from this formation. He has all the room in the world in the backfield. And he's just going to dump it down to Reggie Bush. And they're going to take their time. They have plenty of time. They have a timeout. And they're going to line up in the empty formation again. This time Barry Sanders is in the slot at the top of your screen. And they are going to throw it to the slot. Delaney Walker again in the seam, and Delaney Walker is going to get it all the way up to the 4-yard line. Delaney Walker, man, I have never seen anyone own the seam like this in my life, especially against a defense like this. But maybe Delaney Walker has found something here against this Ravens defense. And Reggie Bush, the easy dump off pass. Michael Vick looks dynamite. Wow. Michael Vick dumping the ball off to Reggie Bush. And this, guys, this is unbelievable. They are taking everything that the Ravens give them, and exactly that, and only that, and it's been enough. We need to look at this sequence, these past two sequences of plays. We got to look at that play sequence. We got to look at those two plays just now. Delaney Walker has been so good in the seam. He's able to get released, and they run a blitz. They blitz Ed. Why would you blitz Ed Reed in that situation? The best cover cornerback to ever play the game, and Delaney Walker exploits that vacancy quickly. Michael Vick sees it right away and just throws the ball straight to Delaney Walker. Delaney Walker making that grab, and he cuts, and he gets up the field. Delaney Walker with enough speed to get away from Tony Jefferson, but luckily, Ladarius Webb is able to pull him down. But not so lucky, as they're at the 4-yard line, and Reggie Bush here is going to be covered by Ed Reed, but Ed Reed not able to get out there fast enough. Quick and easy touchdown, like taking candy from a baby. And these Atlanta Falcons, man, they are taking advantage of every opportunity that the Baltimore Ravens are giving them. As they line up for the extra point, and the extra point is good. 34-7. It's ugly. This is a ugly, ugly game right now. The Ravens offense letting them down, and the defense also being surprised. The defense just being out-schemed. The defense right now losing the chess match. Joe Flacco, please, Joe Flacco. That's what you can hear all of the whole Raven Nation saying. Joe Flacco, give us something. So Joe Flacco is going to line up in the shotgun. Joe Flacco, and he's going to release the ball quick to Anquan Boldin. Anquan Boldin sending a tackle. Anquan Boldin escaping up the sideline. Anquan Boldin is going to score a one-play, 75-yard drive, touchdown Baltimore Ravens, and that is exactly what they needed. Anquan Boldin with the touchdown. What a play at the end of the first half. Who saw that coming? Deion Sanders whiffs on the tackle. Joe Flacco making a extremely savvy, very savvy, smart play. That was very savvy. Throwing it to Deion Sanders behind his back. What a backstabber. That was treacherous. Deion Sanders had his back turned. Let's look at that. We have to go back and look at this play again, guys. We have a sequence of plays here that we have to look at. As the game heats up and gets competitive, these teams are making plays. Anquan Boldin is going to release up the field, and Dion is going to let him go. It looks like they were in a zone concept. Let me look at the whole field. Yeah, they were running zone. Looks like they were running cover 3 press. Had Deion Sanders was up close to the line of scrimmage. And Anquan Boldin, right as Deion Sanders, right as his head was turned, he wasn't looking at what was going on. He turns, tries to locate the ball, and Anquan Boldin able to grab the ball, and Deion Sanders just miscalculates and terribly. I mean, that's not his forte, but come on, Deion, you got to give us better than that. Whoa. And look at Anquan Boldin. He knows what he just did. Anquan Boldin comes to play every game. He is a baller. And Joe Flacco finally able to get some plays out of his receivers. Because Joe Flacco, he has been good. His receiving core has just been compromised. And it's just not been the same situation that Joe Flacco is accustomed to taking the field with. Reggie Bush getting it to this 28. And it's hard to imagine that the Falcons would try to push the ball down the field, but maybe they will. I mean, they've been so good. Delaney Walker producing almost all of Michael Vick's 216-yard passing, 16 yards of passing. I mean, they've been so good at exploiting the seam, and they are going to pass. Michael Vick stepping up to the side. Michael Vick rolling out, and he's going to probably scurry up here for a bigger gain than what it initially looked like. Michael Vick getting a first down and then some. It looked like he was going to get run out of bounds there for a second, but he's able to scurry up and gain a nice chunk of yards. And he's up at the 48. Michael Vick audibling, dropping back. Michael Vick. There he goes, getting the ball to Julio Jones on the sideline. Julio Jones not able to get out of bounds that time, but they are in good position at the 29. Just like that, in 2 plays, Michael Vick is so dangerous in the 2-minute drill. He's so dangerous in the 2-minute drill. He has a strong arm, and he is the most elusive, most dangerous running quarterback. He will throw the ball down the field dangerously. And it looks like they're going to let the clock run out. They're just going to try to, they're going to go for it. Oh, and Julio Jones. Julio Jones with the grab. What a phenomenal way to end the first half. Julio Jones snagging this ball out the air, fighting through the tackle, touchdown, Atlanta Falcons. What a play. Julio Jones. Awesome play. Michael Vick making that big play there. Whoa. Oh, man, that was a phenomenal play. Unbelievable. 41 points. The Falcons put up 41 points against this Ravens defense, and this is overkill, guys. I was not expecting this type of turnout. I have never seen this Ravens defense handled like this. But apparently the Falcons have all the ingredients they need to dominate. 271 yards passing, 160 plus yards rushing. Michael Vick taking it in. They are dominating. Look at Michael Vick. The first touchdown, man. Design run. Michael Vick takes it in. Then the Falcons would get a field goal. Then the Ravens would try to drive back, and they would throw an interception. And here you have Barry Sanders tumbling into the end zone as he is hit, but he's still able to get the touchdown. Now the Ravens are able to finally answer after a couple of Falcon possessions. And here goes Barry Sanders. He broke that huge run, shedding a couple of tackles and escaping up the sideline. And then Reggie Bush able to get the easy touchdown after a long Delaney Walker reception. And that appeared to be it for the half, but Joe Flacco comes out and he throws a strike a one-play drive to Anquan Boldin. Anquan Boldin makes what appeared to be the play of the half, but then Julio Jones, what the heck? Michael Vick actually having the chutzpah to throw that play, to throw that ball, and Julio Jones comes down with it. That was a phenomenal play. That was an absolutely phenomenal play. And before the Atlanta Falcons take the field, we are going to go back and look at that play, guys. We did not get a chance to look at it earlier. We have to look at that play. That play was just unreal to close out the first half. I've never seen anything like it. To close out the half with a play like that. A sequence of plays like that. Let's look at the sequence here. Remember, Michael Vick, he scrambled for a 20-yard gain up the sideline, up the left sideline, and he scurried up, and he was able to escape, and it didn't look like he was going to be able to get much, and he got 20 yards. Then he hits Julio Jones on a corner route, and Julio Jones is tackled inbounds, wasn't able to get out of bounds, and then Julio Jones streaking up the sideline. Michael Vick throws a bold ball, extremely bold. Ladarius Webb has been there all day. Ladarius Webb was here again. I mean, Julio Jones didn't create that much separation, but Julio Jones jumps up with those strong arms and he absorbs the hit, stays on his feet, gathers himself, and evades Tony Jefferson and gets into the end zone. That is one of those only Julio type of plays. What a play to close out the first half. And the Falcons have the ball again. They have already moved the ball for over 450 yards of total offense in just the first half alone. That is unprecedented against the Baltimore Ravens defense. As he throws dangerously over the middle and he completes the pass in traffic to Julio Jones. Wow. This team is overflowing with swagger right now. Julio Jones snags that ball in right in front of Ray Lewis, absorbing the Ray Lewis contact. This is just unreal. Unprecedented type of performance against this Ravens defense. The Falcons have really tapped into something. They have struck gold, people. Barry Sanders bouncing out, and they're going to stop Barry Sanders. That play, they got to take that play out the playbook. That play just doesn't work for these guys. They keep trying that play, and it just doesn't work. Barry Sanders, that's the second time that play has been stuffed for a 4-yard loss. Here goes Vick, 2nd and 14, dropping back, looking for somebody, releasing the ball. Vick getting the ball to Rashad Perriman. Michael Vick, only 2 incompletions. Whoa. Michael Vick playing out of this world. Michael Vick is having a dynamite game. Rashad Perriman, 3 receptions for 33 yards. Michael Vick snapping the ball. Michael Vick getting to Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders is going to get stopped in the backfield. Man, you look at Barry Sanders' numbers, though. No one would have thought that he would have these type of numbers at this point in the game against the Ravens. But he's been able to do it. As Ed Reed comes up and boom, delivers the hit. Barry Sanders, he's endured those plays all game long. But he also has been able to break free. He had that beautiful 50-yard run. And that, of course, is why he has favorable numbers. Oh, almost intercepted. Ed Reed coming up, trying to make the play, trying to help his team out. The ball hawk. There's never been a ball hawk like Ed Reed ever to play the game of football. And Ed Reed right there trying to do what he does best, trying to help his team, and comes up a little bit short. Look at Ed Reed track the ball, and Ed Reed is going to explode forward here and try to come up with this catch, but it's in traffic. Both of their hands get caught up in bang, 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 and Ed Reed is not able to make that catch. Ouch. What a play by Ed Reed, doing what he does. You have to be careful when you're passing the ball against these Ravens. Ed Reed is the absolute best ball hawk to ever play the game. That's what he does. And here goes the Atlanta Falcons out of a tight shotgun formation. Michael Vick finds his man, and Perryman is hit hard. Hit so hard that he's hit into the first down range. He's hit by Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis, look at this hit. Boom. He knocks him right in the first down yardage. That worked against Ray Lewis just now. What a hit. Just should have been going the other way. Ray Lewis probably taking his frustration out on Brashad Perryman on that play, and it backfired. Here goes Brashad Perryman in motion, and they're going to fake the dive and they're going to get it to Brashad Perryman. Brashad Perryman up the sideline. Nice play design. Beautiful play design. And Ed Reed is going to take him out of bounds at the 8. Brashad Perryman now with 5 catches for 76 yards. They have been able to find ways to get him the ball, and has been very effective. And the Falcons, man, what a game. What a game they have showed us today. They have showed us excellence on today, guys. The Falcons have not disappointed. What a game. From the 8-yard line, here's Michael Vick. Michael Vick is going to take off. Michael Vick is going to spin, and Michael Vick gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta Falcons. Michael Vick putting on the moves. His second rushing touchdown of the day, and the Falcons are just pouring it on here now. This is getting out of hand. The Falcons just have an answer for everything the Ravens do. I mean, the Ravens, they're getting there, but these guys, the Falcons, are just too elusive, too slippery, too quick. Man, what a lovely sequence of moves. What a lovely spin, and then he's able to shed those tackles afterwards. Michael Vick is phenomenal. And it was 48-14. The Falcons are dominating. There's 11 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the Falcons have managed to put up 48 points against the Ravens. Man, this is, I can't believe it. I'm lost for words. Anquan Boldin with only 1 catch, 1 target. Of course, with Deion Sanders on him, the quarterbacks just don't throw that way often, but Flacco took that risk and it paid off. Let's see if they can do more here. Flacco's going to have to continue to take risk if they're going to have a chance to come back in this one. Oh, and they're going to get the ball to Zach Miller. Zach Miller is going to be tackled at the 33-yard line for an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2. Here goes Joe Flacco, 2nd and 2. Shotgun. Receiver stacked to his right, and they're going to hand the ball off. And Doug Martin will be denied. Grady Jarrett on the play. 3rd and 2. Doug Martin again. Doug Martin. Oh. And he's able to get the first down, actually. It didn't look like it, but they gave him the spot, and Doug Martin has first down yardage. Looking at that replay, though, it definitely you can see why they gave him the spot. He definitely got that first down on that play. Doug Martin, great job. Joe Flacco dropping back. And they're going to throw it to the Deion Sanders, almost coming up with the interception. Wow. Don't get that guy started. Deion Sanders is deadly. We haven't called his name much today. You don't want to start doing that now. Throwing into his zone and Deion Sanders flying up. When they do run zone coverage, I mean, we all know about his man abilities, but Deion Sanders is a phenomenal zone cover corner as well. He will snatch the ball quickly. Joe Flacco dropping back. And there goes Martin. Running the angle route. Martin, nice game. Setting up a 3rd and inches. The Baltimore Ravens now in the bunch formation. Single back. And they're going to pass it. Joe Flacco, and he's going to run forward. He's going to get the easy first down. Great play by Joe Flacco. Very headsy play. He knew where he was in the field. He knew the yardage that he needed, and he got the yards that he needed. Now we're going to do 1st and 10 now. Joe Flacco taking the handoff. And Doug Martin is going to be tackled before a short gain. 2nd and 7. Joe Flacco calling an audible, and they're going to run, and the Ravens defense dominating. I apologize, the offensive line mauling the Falcons defensive line on that play. And Doug Martin, he has something going here, but it's not going to be enough at this point. Doug Martin, he's been impressive, but they're going to need much more than a six carries per yard. 6 carries, 6 yards per carry. Oh, Anquan Boldin running over the defender. That is Anquan Boldin's forte. He is the most physical receiver in the game. Anquan Boldin runs people over. Let's take another look at that play. As they were running the zone, Anquan Boldin is going to cut across, and he's just going to lay his shoulder into Robert Alford. Robert Alford wasn't asking for that. Robert Alford didn't sign up for that, but Anquan Boldin said, it doesn't matter, you've been elected. And Anquan Boldin is going to move forward. Deion Sanders is going to catch up to him and drag him down, but not before he gets the 1st down. What a play by Anquan Boldin. What a run by Doug Martin there, slashing and dashing. And I apologize, folks, I was wrong. Anquan Boldin did not get the 1st down on that play, but he did set up Doug Martin to get the 1st down. And no, that wasn't Doug Martin. That was Terrence West. It's getting late. It's 12 in the morning. This definitely is going to be my last game. I don't want it to be. I'm having so much fun, but I'm just not as effective as I normally am right now. I'm tired, and I'm getting sloppy. All right, Joe Flacco giving the ball to Doug Martin, and they're going to stop Doug Martin at the 10-yard line. 2nd and 9. Doug Martin bouncing it out, and they're going to tackle Doug Martin. That's Adrian Claiborne. Third and 10. Danny Woodhead motioning out of the backfield. Joe Flacco surveying the field, and Joe Flacco throws the interception. Man, oh man. Whoa, it's still the 3rd quarter, and this is just unbelievable. You just, looking at this game, it's hard to believe that the Falcons are dominating like this. The Ravens come into this game with a 97 overall. The Falcons are a 93 overall. The Ravens, I mean, on paper, they're the most complete team in the league. but they're just not. They're not. Some of the pieces just haven't gelled well for them today, guys, and they're gonna have to definitely rearrange their roster. 'Cause even though they have tremendous talent, everything's just aren't coming together for these guys. As Barry Sanders takes the handoff, and Barry Sanders with space, spinning, and he's going to get tackled at the 40-yard line. Barry Sanders closing in on 100 yards. Wow. They've been able to get Barry Sanders in space, guys. And that's how this works. That's how it works against this Ravens defense. You got to avoid the interior of that defense. You got to avoid those linemen and those linebackers, and they've been able to do that with Barry as they give the ball to Brashard Perriman on the end around, and that play is going to be stopped. 2nd and 10. They're going to give it to Reggie Bush this time. Reggie Bush cuts it up. Reggie Bush fights, and he's able to gain 2 yards. Oh, my mistake. That was actually 4 yards. Reggie Bush, nice play. Reggie Bush wiggling and keeping his legs churning, and he's able to gain 4 yards. And they get the ball to Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush cutting up the sideline, and he has the speed. Reggie Bush, very, very fast. Able to get up the sideline. Wow. He takes the ball up to the 31. Barry Sanders. Stop in the backfield. No gain. Barry Sanders he remains at a stalemate at 98 yards as he's knocking on 100's door. But I'm sure Barry Sanders isn't even thinking about his yardage amount right now. He just wants to win. Michael Vick, dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Michael Vick committing crime here today, guys. That was a 22-yard run. He gets the ball up to the 9. Michael Vick makes these 20-yard runs look so easy. He just rips off 20-yard runs like it's nothing. He covers ground so fast. And of course, from his position, from the quarterback position, he often inherits space in front of him. And when he does get that space and he does decide to run, he chews up that space so quickly. He's so dangerous when he decides to run. And it was Dan Quinn talking to his quarterback. Dan Quinn has got to be pleased with his quarterback's performance today. As you see the Falcons, it's been one heck of a game. Of course, that second quarter, the Ravens haven't been able to retaliate since. The Falcons scored 31 points in that quarter alone. And off of that quarter alone, the Falcons would be able to win this game. The Ravens only have 14 points. That second quarter was just unbelievable as they ended it with that phenomenal play to Julio Jones. It's one of the most amazing quarters I've ever seen in my life. Right, here goes Michael Vick again. 2nd down. And Michael Vick is going to keep it. And Michael Vick is going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown. Easy, easy, easy. That's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the day. Michael Vick ready to walk off the field. Michael Vick saying, "Give me my trophy." Michael Vick is ready to hold that Lombardi trophy. Ed Reed flying over, but too little too late. Ed Reed not able to stop the fast and decisive Michael Vick. Wow. And that extra point brings them to 55. As they scored 54, they now have the lead, and it's all the way up to 55 points. Phenomenal. Wow. If my math serves me correctly, these guys have a 41-point lead. That is unbelievable. Joe Flacco. He's had some bright areas. He's had some bright spots here today, but it's been difficult. And Joe Flacco's defense, even though this team is loaded and they're such a phenomenal team overall, Joe Flacco, man, his receiving core, man, it's just not the same core that Joe Flacco was expecting to take the field with. And they set up the screen to Doug Martin. And Doug Martin is going to be tackled by Keanu Neal. That's his third reception. Let's see what they do on this 3rd and 6. They're in a shotgun bunch formation. Joe Flacco has pressure, and they're going to set up another screen. And this time they get the first down. Doug Martin saying, "Hey, how you doing, Keanu Neal?" Wow, that time Keanu Neal was the receiver of the punishment. Doug Martin able to lower his shoulder and deliver the boom. Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10. The Ravens out of the shotgun bunch formation, and Joe Flacco is looking to pass. They set up the screen again. The screen is killing these guys. Look at Doug Martin again getting the first down. And I guess the Ravens, they figure this is the best thing they could do at this point. I mean, I don't know what they're really expecting at this point. Down 41 points in the 4th quarter. But still, the Ravens, they have pride, and they're clearly trying to move the ball. And Joe Flacco almost throws his 3rd interception. That was Marcus Trufant, or Desmond Trufant, rather. Wow. Joe Flacco getting the ball to Doug Martin, almost spinning free. Another screen play. And man, these screens, it's been nice to see. They probably should have ran these screen plays earlier, though.
False start, offense.
Joe Flacco, 39. And Joe Flacco, no. Denied. Denied by Deion Sanders. That's his 2nd pass deflection. Deion Sanders has been everything that you expected him to be in this game. The only thing he hasn't done, he hasn't scored. He really hasn't had the opportunity to, though. They haven't really tried him except for that phenomenal play, though. They torched him on that one play, though. That play in the 2nd quarter. That fiasco. And that was actually man coverage that they were in. Let's take a look. So Anquan Boldin must have came out as Deion is matched up with Jarvis Landry. And Jarvis Landry stops, and Joe Flacco delivers the ball late. And you don't ever want to do that on Deion. They actually had him for a second as Deion was bailing. And Deion able to change direction and come back quickly and knock that ball down. Or knock that ball out of Jarvis Landry's grip. And they're gonna punt here. And at this point, we all know the fate of this game. We all know where this game is going to conclude as. The Falcons are already celebrating. on the sidelines. The Falcons can't believe it. Michael Vick, 370 yards passing. Wow. Delanie Walker had a huge game. Delanie Walker contributed a huge chunk to that. That big play to Julio Jones. And then in addition, he's just been efficient. He's just been consistent and efficient the whole game, getting the ball, spreading the ball around. We are certainly going to look into the numbers at the end of this game and dissect what Michael Vick has been able to accomplish here. Look at Barry Sanders. They're trying to strip him. And all these guys are going to do at this point, they're just going to run the clock down. They smell the victory. The victory has been cooked up. It has been served. They're just waiting to be called to the table to enjoy their prize. Michael Vick throwing over the middle, and that is Barry Sanders. And he's able to hold on to the ball. Barry Sanders doing some unlikely duties, some unusual duties there, catching the ball over the middle, holding on to it for the slant. And it seems like almost every pass play, Ed Reed is there. And unfortunately, Ed Reed, he's been there having to make tackles far too often. Tackles after large gains, tackles after first downs, or Ed Reed has witnessed it all. He's made some good plays too, though. Certainly wishes he could have a few plays back, especially that one play where he dove in front of the outreaching arms of a Falcons receiver. Ed Reed almost had a second interception, but instead, the Falcons were able to score on that drive, I believe. And here goes Michael Vick, taking off yet again, spinning. And he's going to be taken down by Terrell Suggs, the third best rushing defense this season. And they gave up 248 yards today, guys. Unreal. And there goes your guy, Terrell Suggs, making the stop. Oh, wow. Michael Vick taking an unnecessary risk, and he throws the ball to Humphrey, and Humphrey is out in front of everyone. Reggie Bush is chasing Humphrey, and he's not going to catch him. It doesn't matter much, but that was certainly a nice play. Michael Vick, wow. You got to wonder, why did Michael Vick throw that ball? Michael Vick adding a blemish to his stats. Certainly not ruining his game, but Michael Vick adding an unnecessary blemish. I mean, Taylor Gabriel was ahead a little bit. He was out in front a little bit, but that just wasn't the type of throw that Michael Vick should have made. As they cut this lead down, let me see if I could do my math. They cut it down to a 34. It's a 34-point lead now. And Humphrey is satisfied. He has to be feeling good. I wonder if they're going to do an onside kick after this, if they're actually going to try to do an onside kick. But I want to get a look at that play. I want to just try to get a look at. I want to try to see what Michael Vick saw here. What was Michael Vick looking at? So Michael Vick, he fakes it to Reggie Bush. And Taylor Gabriel was running the wheel route. And I guess he just wasn't expecting Humphrey to keep up with him on that wheel route. Because the wheel route, that's a timing route. And he releases it as Gabriel is releasing up the field. But lo and behold, Humphrey is right there. And Michael Vick just wasn't expecting Humphrey to be there. He wasn't expecting Humphrey to follow Gabriel up the field. And that is a good play, a phenomenal play by Humphrey. Just more than likely too little too late, but still a good play. Humphrey runs into his own guys, and Gabriel's not able to take him down. And Humphrey sprints up the sideline and gets the touchdown, cutting this lead down to 34. It's still a very unlikely. It's very unlikely that the Ravens they're not even going to kick an onside kick. I mean, this game is over. At this point, we're padding stats, and even if the Ravens were to take the ball and intercept it right now and score right now, it would still be what would that be? It would still be a 27-point deficit. Still 20. They would still need 27 points to tie the game. If they were to take the ball away right now and score, they would still need 27 more points. I mean, how many times can that happen? So this game is pretty much over with. Barry Sanders with a great game. 21 carries, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. Barry Sanders has been immaculate all day today, guys. For him to be able to weather those hits and take on the physicality of this Ravens defense and be patient and then wait for the opportunity to break a big run like which he did, you got to applaud Barry for that. Barry Sanders was challenged today, and he answered the challenge. And, of course, Michael Vick. We haven't looked at Michael Vick's numbers yet. All of his stats, and, man, you're in for something, guys. Michael Vick has put up some serious numbers as he dumps it down to Reggie Bush. Oh, and Reggie Bush fumbles. The Ravens, that they're playing with a lot of pride. The Ravens have not given up. As Terrell Suggs comes up and he goes immediately for the ball, they have not stopped playing here, guys. This team is not going to stop. They are going to continue to play to the end of this game. Very prideful team. And they're going to hand it off to Barry. Barry Sanders bounced off of a Ray Lewis tackle there, but he ultimately is stopped for a 2-yard gain. But nice effort by Barry Sanders. And they're going to come out in a full pistol formation. Wow. Good play. Nice play in the backfield. Terrell Suggs. Yeah, you know, the Falcons aren't playing as hard as they were earlier, so you really can't gauge what the Ravens are doing here now. The Falcons aren't even trying, and they're still moving the ball. Again, as Michael Vick completes, it's wow. 658 yards gained today on this defense. The best game of the year by the Falcons by far. And it is against the best team, the best opponent that they've played. The Falcons have stepped up in a major way as Barry Sanders gets open, and he is going to walk in for the touchdown. A 43-yard touchdown. And this has just turned into an absolute massacre. So I stand corrected. Some of these players on the Ravens defense have given up. Not all, but some of these players have certainly given up. Look at the old line just pushing back. Earlier in the game, that was the Ravens offensive line doing that. But now, as the wind starts to leave the lungs of the Ravens' victory hopes, the team is finally starting to give in. In spite of the tenacious effort of some of their superstars who are still fighting, but collectively this team, they know their fate. The Atlanta Falcons will be hoisting that trophy at the end of this game. 62 points. 62 points, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's the most points I've seen, guys. I've never seen 62 points put up. And they do it against the Ravens. It's 701 yards. Unbelievable. 405 yards passing. 300 yards rushing. Roughly 300 yards rushing. I believe 296, but I might be off, but I believe that's what it said. What it is, 296 yards rushing. The Baltimore Ravens are devastated. No one saw this coming. Unbelievable. Wow, and they are going to, Dwight Freeney, look at Dwight Freeney there. He's going to sack Joe Flacco. Falcons, surprisingly, that's the Falcons' it's only their third sack. And they get it in garbage time, so the Ravens did a good job protecting Flacco. Whoa, what a juke. Deion Sanders, he wants to get into the highlight reel. Deion Sanders just now looked like he wanted to take that one back. But they're able to get him. Deion Sanders almost broke. He almost broke free on that play. "62 points. It's simply unreal. And we're going to take a look at that Deion Sanders return, because he looked so close to breaking this. We just want to take one more look at this just to get the perspective of what Deion was looking at. Deion Sanders hitting that juke. Oh, well, you know what? From the broadcast angle, I didn't see this guy coming off his block right here and tackling Deion. I thought it was the guy from behind that tackled Deion ultimately, which in a lot of ways it was, but still, Deion did not have as much space as I thought he had. Still, a beautiful juke move. And the Falcons are just running the clock out now at this point. And the Ravens, they're not going to call any timeouts. And we are going to do the fast simulation to the end of this game, guys. And this one is over. The Ravens finally surrendered. They lose 62-21. And man, it's sad to watch such great players suffer a defeat like this. But the Falcons, they shocked the world with their execution and their spirit of excellence that they operated under. The Falcons were nearly flawless on today. Man, and we saw some heroic gameplay from many Ravens players as we watch as Ed Reed greets Julio Jones. Look at this play that Julio Jones made. Oh man, Barry Sanders, what a play that the Ravens didn't give it to these guys easy. The only thing that looked easy was that man right there. Early on in the game, Delaney Walker just kept finding open space in the seams. He owned the seam early on in the game, but eventually the Ravens were able to shut that down as we honor Barry Sanders here. And that's the unofficial MVP because the game be tripping. But Barry Sanders certainly had a phenomenal game, 3 touchdowns. But I'm not partial. I'm just trying to be fair. I'm not trying to be biased. But it's hard to imagine that Michael Vick is not the MVP. I mean, we're going to take a look at his numbers. Michael Vick was absolutely unbelievable. And these guys are hoisting that trophy, and it is well deserved. And we want to find a team that could beat these guys. These guys are just too darn good. Let's take a look at these stats, guys. Hold your breath. Michael Vick. Look at what Michael Vick did. Completing 82% of his passes. And guys, Joe Flacco he's officially more accurate than Michael Vick. And his Madden ratings they're higher. His accuracy, they're higher than Michael Vick's. Michael Vick has a 91 short throw accuracy. Joe Flacco, I believe, took the field with 93. Might have even been 94. I boosted Joe Flacco because Joe Flacco played superb in his Super Bowl run, and I gave Joe Flacco a 99 aware. So Joe Flacco with a 99 aware, and I do give Michael Vick a 99 aware as well, but he has traits that cause him to run the ball, and he's not always gonna sit there and pick a team apart. He's not gonna be the most effective passer because of his traits. He has the paranoid trait on him, so he's going to take off and run the ball. But in spite of that, look at what Michael Vick was able to do. Unbelievable. 2 touchdowns, only 1 interception, 13 yards per attempt. Unreal. And then when you look at the rushing stats, Michael Vick. Wait, did I mention? Yeah, I mentioned that 2 touchdowns. Barry Sanders, of course, at the top of the rushing stats. Barry Sanders had a phenomenal game. Overall, when it was all said and done, Barry Sanders played big. But look at what Michael Vick did in the running game as well. 140 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 broken tackle. I mean, he was running free, guys. He wasn't running through traffic. And his longest run was 22 yards. So that speaks to the level of consistency that he ran with. He consistently found open lanes, and he only had 2 carries for over 20 yards, and his longest one was 22. So let's say he had a carry, two 20 yards, that's 40 yards. And he still managed out of two out of his two. This is unreal, man. 2 out of his 15 carries added up to, let's say, 42, 43, 44, no more than 44 yards. The rest of that he gained within. So he gained 100 yards out of 13 carries. And guys, that's just absolutely phenomenal. He was consistent all day long, and I know I'm kicking the dead horse, but he's just played a phenomenal game. And to be able to see this type of to be able to see Michael Vick do stuff like that, it's a big impetus to why I do this. It's a pleasure to see Michael Vick make the plays that he's able to make, and I love to watch Michael Vick run up and down the field. He's a phenomenal player, and he's going to the make-believe Hall of Fame. All right, and we have Anquan Boldin right here. Anquan Boldin, he had a good game, well, at least on that one play. They sure would have liked to have gotten the ball to him more. I'm just still shocked. I just can't believe that the Falcons put up all of this yardage against the Ravens defense. I personally, whenever I simulate against the Ravens or with the Ravens mostly win. The Ravens win most of the time, and if they do lose, they don't lose like this. I mean, I have simulated games where Michael Vick has gotten hot. Michael Vick has thrown for 300 yards against the Ravens before. It's the way the matchup works, because the Ravens, they're so good at shutting down the run. And again, in that game, it's a game I'm thinking of specifically, Michael Vick was shut down in the running game for the most part. But he was able to pass very effectively, and Michael Vick had a phenomenal game. This time, that's not the case. Michael Vick torched the Ravens all the way up and down the field. And look at Ed Reed. Ed Reed had to bear the burden of being the lead tackler. And my apologies, I might have mentioned earlier that Ed Reed had an interception. That was from an earlier game that I simulated. Ed Reed did not have an interception in this game, guys. Ed Reed was forced to be a linebacker in a lot of ways because of the offensive creativity of the creativity of the offense. The offensive coordinator just spreading the ball around profusely. And Ray Lewis, look at Ray Lewis, limited to only 3 solo tackles. They really did a good job of taking Ray Lewis out the game. Ray Lewis just was simply not able to make the plays that he's accustomed to making because of the type of offense that the Falcons ran. And you know what they always say, if your team's defensive leader, if your team's the tackling leader on your team, if it's your safety, especially your free safety, then that's not a good sign. Strong safety can sometimes be understood because the strong safety wants to come up and support against the run anyway. But Ed Reed being the free safety, being the lead tackler, all that does is further explain the dominance of the Falcons offense throughout the whole entire game. Brian Poole had a sack, Duke Riley, and Dwight Freeney by committee. 2 blitzers, and Dwight Freeney was able to get off the edge and get a sack too. And the Ravens did not sack Michael Vick once. Michael Vick was too busy escaping and getting free. Michael Vick looked phenomenal, guys. I'll say it again, he looked phenomenal. Deion Sanders only had 2 punt returns. Oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm just trying to figure these stats. It happened before me. I saw the whole thing, but when I'm looking at the end results, when I'm looking at the end numbers, I'm just like, what? How did this happen? They scored twice. They get in early on. They got off to an early start, and we really got to observe the second quarter. That from the quarter to quarter breakdown, the only quarter that is like whoa, that matches the final score in terms of raising your eyebrow is the second quarter. Every other quarter is a normal successful quarter, I should say. Every quarter they had was successful. They scored at least a touchdown in every quarter, and had a really strong quarter in the fourth quarter, scoring 2 touchdowns. But let's take a deeper look at what they were able to do in this second quarter. Barry Sanders had the 1-yard touchdown run. I don't quite recall what that drive was like, but Barry Sanders was able to score in the beginning of the quarter, 13 minutes left. And then Atlanta kicked a field goal as well. See Doug Martin, he was able to score a touchdown on an 18-yard pass. I do remember that. I remember that play. Barry Sanders, I remember this play. This is where Barry Sanders finally broke free. They had Barry Sanders corralled the whole game, and Barry Sanders he broke free on that beautiful run up the left sideline, and he scored 48 yards. Then Michael Vick, he scored again after that. It must have been after a turnover, as you see the time margin. It must have been an interception. I'm going to have to look at the actual highlights. And then Anquan Boldin, I remember this play. This play was phenomenal. It was like, wow, okay, the Ravens are finally responding. The Ravens, they had 2 quick scores, and then the Ravens respond with a 1-play drive. Anquan Boldin pulling off magic. And then Michael Vick does the unthinkable. He has 3 back-to-back big plays, gets down the field, and of course the third of those 3 consecutive plays was this 29-yard pass from Julio Jones, and it was just absolutely amazing. Quarter 3, the only score was Michael Vick on an 8-yard run. And again in the fourth quarter, we see what occurred in the fourth quarter. Michael Vick, 9-yard run. Humphreys, he ran back an interception, but then Barry Sanders had a 43-yard, broke free for a 43-yard run. In garbage time, as they try to run out the clock, Barry Sanders still able to break free, and that really padded Barry Sanders' stats. That's why I say there's no way Barry Sanders won the MVP. Now let's take a deeper look at this second quarter, because I'm still I'm absolutely amazed at what occurred here. Let's look at the play-by-play. I'm trying to remember. Of course, I'm going to look at the playback of this game. I'm going to at least go back and look at the second quarter, definitely, because it's just hard for me to imagine. I'm looking at the end results of this game, and I'm just dumbfounded by the success of the Atlanta Falcons. So Barry Sanders started this drive off after the Marcus Trufant interception. Let's take a look at this interception. Marcus Trufant. And this is the post-game show, by the way, people. This is the Super Bowl post-game show, and it's a special edition because we are just absolutely in shock at the results that we're looking at here, guys. So Desmond Trufant here, Joe Flacco pushing the ball down the field, and listen, guys, I've seen many a times Torrey Smith comes up big when Joe Flacco pushes the ball down the field and gets it to Torrey Smith, but they pick up Jarvis Landry in free agency, and that really compromises the game plan that I had arranged for these guys. Torrey Smith once played with him before, and they run a very similar type of offense. They like to push the ball down the field with Joe Flacco, and Jarvis Landry is just not that guy. They pick him up in free agency, and I was surprised to see that. I didn't know that until I got to this game, and I looked at their roster, and I said, whoa. He should be out there on the perimeter. He would have come up with that catch, or at least he would have made it more difficult for Desmond Trufant to take the ball away. He's a faster guy, and his skill set. And also I gotta come clean. His player type is the player type. His player type is the speed player type, and that player type for receiver is ideal for making plays down the field. All right, so they get that interception. Barry Sanders had the 14-yard rush, which we can't look at now. Then Marcel Reese took the pass for 32 yards. I vaguely remember Marcel Reese. I remember Marcel Reese running free. And look at this. They had a -2 play. Then Marcel Reese again, 20 yards. And Michael Vick has a 15-yard rush. Gets it all the way up to the 1-yard line. And then Barry Sanders scores a touchdown. And that's the beginning of the second quarter. And it looks like the Falcons had a 3-and-out here. They have a 3-and-out. And here come the Ravens had a 3-and-out. And then here come the Falcons again. So they must have had really good field position, because first they started at the Atlanta 33. Okay, 27 yards. Big play. Barry Sanders really got going in the second quarter. I see. So it was the first quarter. I remember for a period of time, Barry Sanders they were stopping him for a bit there. Barry Sanders was getting stuffed, but he certainly came alive in the second quarter. Michael Vick, 7-yard rush, and they have to settle for a field goal here. A 53-yard field goal. And then Joe Flacco was able to get the touchdown to Doug Martin. Let's take a look at this play. Joe Flacco, I remember this play. He stuck it right on him. And Doug Martin's like, whoa. He catches it like, whoa. And he has to tuck that ball in there, and Doug Martin just walks right into the end zone. And at this point, I was pulling for the Ravens. And the Ravens weren't able to stop these guys, man. As we're closing it, I'm really excited about this play we're about to look at. I love these type of plays, but let's just look at the play-by-play first before we do that. I don't want to jump ahead. Taylor Gabriel, okay, on the kick return after that touchdown, and Start the play off with a negative play. They get the ball to Delaney Walker for 15 yards. They get that first down, and Barry Sanders on a negative rush. Brashard Perryman, at this point, they're from that Delaney Walker play that gets them into plus territory. It's like things just happen so fast. But they weren't really deep in the plus territory, right? They were at the 50-yard line, yeah, at the 49. I remember this. And I'm sorry, that 15-yard play that did not get them in the plus territory. They started off at the 22, and that was -4. I apologize, people. Pardon me, guys. Pardon me. And then, anywho, Michael Vick rushes on third down. Michael Vick rushes for 1 yard on first down. And then they give the ball to Barry Sanders. And this play was beautiful because this play, I know this play. This play is designed to go up in there, right behind Marcel Reese. It's like Barry Sanders doesn't even, and Barry Sanders, it's normally run that way. This is what I love about Barry Sanders. And I'm so happy to finally be able to get Barry Sanders to run in a way that is similar to Barry Sanders. He doesn't even waste his time with that. He says, nah, there's nothing happening there. He gets out to the perimeter and he creates. He spins. He accelerates. He's so explosive. At this time, his acceleration is so explosive. He's like boom, and he's exploding up the field that Terrell Suggs is not able to wrap him up. And he's a strong guy. 83 strength. Barry Sanders with the ball. Switches the ball to his outside hand, and Barry Sanders, he just devastates teams. It's like he breaks runs that he's not supposed to break. Like defensively, they had that play. They had it. Gap assignment. I mean, he's dealing with the defensive end here. I mean, he's got the contain guys. Those guys are responsible for containing the outside linebacker and the defensive end, and they're out here, and they're forcing him to cut it up. But he cuts it up so fast, and it explodes. Look at the way he just destroyed the defensive end and the outside linebacker there. So quick. Gashes those guys. And then once you do that, there's no one left. And then Barry Sanders is just breaking free. And this is what most of his runs look like in real life. If you ever watch like a full game tape on Barry Sanders, it's like he'll keep running, he'll have regular runs, and then next thing you know, he'll just put on a few moves, and he'll just devastate a well-executed defense, and he'll just completely defy the gap assignments of the defense and explode up the field. It's really amazing to see. As we look at Brian Poole, let's look at this whole safety blitz. I like this play. I like this play call by the Atlanta Falcons. They call a safety blitz. And that, again, all day long, the man coverage, as we look at Deion Sanders does not have the ability to jam Anquan. He's not going to keep Anquan Boldin at the line of scrimmage. But he's going to stay in front of Anquan Boldin, though. Deion Sanders is going to make sure he stays in front of Anquan Boldin. And there's just nowhere for Flacco to go. I mean, this is his first guy, Anquan Boldin here. And everyone else, he maybe could have gone to Zach Miller. Probably would have gone to Zach Miller. But Zach Miller, it looks like he was kind of cocking to throw a little bit. Did he want to throw? Let's see. Was he? No, he was trying to get out of the way. Still, to be able to deliver this throw to Zach Miller, he just didn't have enough time. The safety was already on top of him. Zach Miller's not wide open, but he is coming open, and he would have had to really deliver an accurate ball down the field to get it to Zach Miller. It's just amazing the coverage. Duke Riley able to cover Zach Miller just enough for Brian Poole to get there, and that pretty much devastates the drive right there. They end up running the ball. They punt it, and here goes Delaney Walker. Oh, man. We looked at this play earlier. Delaney Walker, he dominated the scene. I've never seen you see this. I've never seen the seam exploited in a Madden game the way Delaney Walker did it today. In the first half, Delaney Walker trademarked the seam. If you were in the seam, you had to pay taxes to Delaney Walker. Delaney Walker absolutely owned the seam, and it's unexpected because they have such good safeties. Tony Jefferson, like a 90, I believe he's a 93 overall. Ed Reed, a 99 overall. Both of those guys above 90 in play recognition and aware, and they just he was just he was just dynamite. It was unbelievable to see. In this play right here, this play, Anquan Boldin, this was a very slick play. It wasn't even open. You look at Deion Sanders' eyes. He's looking at Anquan Boldin. Is he look? What is he look? What is he looking at? What was Deion doing? He's running. Deion just wasn't expecting the ball, and then he just got Deion in an awkward position. Deion was not breaking on the ball at all, and trust me, guys, Deion breaks on the ball. That's what he does. He gets it to Deion as Deion's running, and he's in an awkward position, cannot get around and tackle him. Deion didn't. Anquan Boldin is gone. That's Deion Sanders. That's what it's ultimately that's what shows you that football is a head game first. Ultimately, the athletics, the tangibles, they definitely play a factor. But if you can out scheme a guy, you could beat someone like Deion Sanders at his own game. Right here, Deion Sanders being outmaneuvered and diving and tackling air. Anquan Boldin up the field. He's a faster guy than Brian Poole, and he's going to walk in for the touchdown. Great play. Anquan Boldin was so hyped after this play. It really looked like the Ravens had tapped into something because, the idea, at this point, I still was holding on to the idea that all they needed was just a little bit of a boost from their offense, and the defense was going to be able to muster control, and this was going to end up being a close game down the line. But this was just simply not the case. As we look, Michael Vick, he comes out and he scrambles for 20 yards. I remember this play. It was like a Houdini play. It looked like Michael Vick was just going to get run out of bounds before he got the first down. But no, he was able to accelerate, and he scurried up the sideline, and he ate up 20 yards very quickly. This is that other run, that other 20-yard run. And it didn't even look like it was going to be 20 yards. It's just amazing how quickly Michael Vick just eats up 20 yards. Once he breaks past the line of scrimmage and commits to running the ball, he just tears up 20 yards at will. Okay, and then of course I remember the play on the sideline. He throws the corner route to Julio Jones. And then check this out. Look at this right here. This is absolutely phenomenal. Getting the ball to Julio Jones. Julio Jones attacking the ball in the air. Julio Jones coming down with the ball in spite of the hard contact from Darius Webb. Darius Webb, he's no slouch. Darius Webb, he started his career out playing cornerback. That's why I have him there. The Darius Webb, I'm not making these guys up. I just went into the old Madden and I plugged in the Darius Webb's old Madden ratings. The Darius Webb was one heck of a cornerback. He has 96 man coverage, and after playing the whole season, he often, by the time they get to the Super Bowl, through the yearly improvements, if the Ravens are playing in the Super Bowl, Darius Webb often takes the field, which he did today. He takes the field with 98 man coverage. He's no slouch. And he's right on top of Julio Jones here. Julio Jones was able to beat him at the line of scrimmage, of course. And Julio Jones is so physical. Look at Julio Jones. Hold on to that ball. Come down with the ball in his hands. Julio Jones. And then agile enough to gather himself and wiggle out to the left. And he gets into the touchdown, guys. He gets into the end zone on that play. And it's just that's the end of that quarter, and that's how they did it. Essentially, they had an explosive quarter like that, and that's the catalyst. That's why they were able to put up 62 points. It took them the entire game to put up 31 points, and they did it like, what's what I'm saying? Because 62 divided by 2 is 31. I'm not trying to preach or teach. This is just what it is. And they did all of what they did throughout the whole game in this one quarter, and it's just absolutely phenomenal what they were able to do. Of course, it was started in the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter, with this interception by Trufant that we looked at earlier. But still, for them to be able to do that and to be that effective, it's absolutely phenomenal. The best quarter I've seen thus far. And we might as well look at the team stats, guys. 714 yards of total offense. Whoa. 309 yards rushing, 405 yards passing, guys. The Ravens did not get one sack. So that is the entire gross. The gross in the net equal, the same. There's no negative. There was no negative yards in their passing game. Michael Vick, this is exactly what Michael Vick had, and this is what the team passing yards were. Unreal. As you look at the triangles too, you look at all the categories that the Falcons dominated in. The only, and of course there's no way they could have dominated in kick return yards, because they only had 4 kick returns in the whole game. The Ravens scored 3 touchdowns, and then they had one, of course, in was it either the beginning of the game or halftime? It was I believe it was halftime. Yeah, they kicked the ball off in the beginning of the game. Look at this. 805 total yards. 825. Excuse me. They won the turnover margin by 1. Third down conversion, 9 of 11, 81%. Red zone, 6 for 6, 100% red zone percentage. 5 touchdowns in the red zone, one field goal, and they possessed the ball almost twice as long as the Ravens did. Literally almost, very close to being twice as long. Only a 10-second differential from it being twice the length that the Ravens possessed the ball. I mean, is there any more stats that we could look at to just break this down? I mean, we looked at the individual stats already. I can't believe no one on the Ravens defense got a sack. It's just phenomenal. And remember, guys, like I said, there was a period of time where remember, Michael Pierce was I don't even, what's the word I'm looking for? He was stuffing Barry Sanders. He was stuffing Barry Sanders. They were stuffing all these tackle for losses. But Barry Sanders, he had 2 plus 40-yard runs. That's why his stats looked the way they looked. And of course, that last run that he had in garbage time. But, so Barry Sanders didn't necessarily dominate all game. Barry Sanders, he was good, though. He was productive in that beautiful run that he was able to pull off. And that's Barry Sanders for you, though. Barry Sanders, again, he's just not that guy. Barry Sanders is not going to consistently lower his shoulder and pound you out all game. He just does not do that. So, as I remember looking at Barry Sanders games, and Barry Sanders, he'll have games where he'll be consistently running good on you, but a lot of the times, it's like he's running, he's doing all right. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. He does good. He's doing all right, and but he'll rip off these huge runs, and that's what Barry was able to do today. He ripped off that huge run, completely annihilated the gap responsibility of the Ravens. And that's pretty much what the Falcons did in whole to the Ravens. They just annihilated their defensive plans. They took every little thing that they could. Michael Vick, phenomenal. 82.7% of his passes. Joe Flacco just had nowhere to go with the ball. And I want to look at the receiving. I want to really focus in on the Falcons' receiving stats. and then we're gonna end it. That's it. That's the last thing I'm gonna look at, and then I'm done dissecting these stats. Of course, Delaney Walker in the first half, Delaney Walker was absolutely unstoppable. This has to be a record for a tight end in the Super Bowl. Delaney Walker was amazing. He owned the scene. Had a 67-yard reception. And we saw that just now. Julio Jones had that huge play. Yeah, and I can't forget Perriman. I remember Perriman had 30 yards. Okay, that's still a big play. All these guys had big plays. Michael Vick just kept delivering big plays. Look at all these guys with plus 25 passing plays. Even Reggie Bush. That's Reggie Bush with the 25. I think that was a screenplay where Reggie Bush broke up the field. All of these guys, look at their average per reception. Michael Vick the offense, not even Vick really. I mean, of course Vick he partook in the massacre. It's the orchestration of this offense that works, and it works for these guys. It really works. And Michael Vick, with that strong arm, was able to execute the playbook and the game plan. Man, oh man. As we look at these stats, man, just a lot of big plays. I mean, what else can you say? It's nothing else. There's nothing complicated about it. You just had a lot of different guys making big plays. How many times they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys with plays greater than 25 yards. One guy with a play greater than 60 yards. They had 2 guys with a play greater than 30 yards. But the biggest stat, 5 guys above 25 yards, 25 yards or more. If you can do that, that says something. That shows you that they are scheming. And who are these guys? You got your tight end, Delaney Walker. You got your second wide receiver, Brashad Perriman. You got Julio Jones. You got your second string running back. And you got your fullback, who also plays tight end. These are the 5 guys. And they schemed, and Michael Vick executed the plays. Michael Vick was phenomenal in finding the open man all day long. And it was just amazing to see, having 5 guys with more than 25 yards or more passing plays on a single play. Passing yards, yards. Pardon me. Man, what a phenomenal game. That's the stat right there. That's the stat that I was looking for. That is a phenomenal stat line. Michael Vick able to connect on big plays to 5 different guys. No one except for Delaney Walker. Delaney Walker was the only one that continued to abuse. And he's probably not the only guy with 2 plays. Delaney Walker has 2 plays of at least 25 yards. Julio Jones definitely has more than 1 play of above 25 yards. Also, Reese, 2 receptions, averaging 26 yards per reception. But okay, one of his was for 32, so he had only 1 play for over 25 yards. Michael Vick was they were just able to create big plays. And they just moved the ball up and down the field at will. And Barry Sanders was so good at scoring in the red zone. Barry Sanders just eating up those creases, and that's what he does, just taking those creases, taking what he was able to get, and scoring the football for his team. 4 broken tackles, He had just about all of those broken tackles on that one run. Definitely half. Let's see. Yeah, he broke about 2 tackles on that 48-yard touchdown run, and he had 4. Wow. I didn't realize this. He had 4 runs of over 20 yards. So three of them were in contention in competition though, because I have to remember that one run that he had in garbage time, which really the Ravens weren't really trying, but still phenomenal. 4 broken tackles, phenomenal. One fumble. I mean, these stats are just amazing. And Michael Vick had a phenomenal day running the ball. Again, though, with only 2 carries over 20 yards. One being 20, the other being 22. 42 yards. He gained 98 yards within 13 carries. Let me see if I could do some quick math. Let me grab my calculator. This is borderline ridiculous, but I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to grab my calculator and I'm going to divide so I can get the exact average per carry that Michael Vick had outside of his 2 carries that he had for 42 yards. Let's see. Alright, so for the rest of the game, outside of those 2 carries, Michael Vick averaged 7.5 yards per carry. That is not bad. That is not bad at all. Michael Vick was very decisive. If you could remember, Michael Vick just kept taking off. I don't think anybody is going to watch this video all the way to this point. If you do, I love you. Alright, I am about to log off. I'm going to pull the microphone out of my controller. I have had fun doing this. I love doing this. It's very fun. And I am out, and I cannot wait to do the next one. I will see you guys later. Good night.